Are you going through a bad time, dealing perhaps with a major health issue? It's something we all experience at one time or another, but how we deal with it can make all the difference. John Ricco fought his way past a cancer diagnosis with treatment support and, most importantly, a positive attitude. He's written a book to help you, too, take the ride of your life. This morning, John Ricco joins us in studio telling us more about this book, The Ride of Your Life. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Here's a book that deals with illness, it deals with mortality, and yet it's such a happy book.
Oh, yes. Positive attitude is so important. It's got to be upbeat. It's about living your life going forward, even though you're a cancer survivor.
Now, you were told you had multiple myeloma.
Yes.
When they gave you that diagnosis, what goes through your heart?
Oh my gosh, that was just like hitting the wall, just so traumatic. It's the most traumatic thing in my life now. And it's a stopper because you're doing your life and you're living your life, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, things are totally changing, being tossed in the air. So then you have to go through the denial and you can't believe it happening to you. And then you get to a point you got to make a realization, I'm going to live my life going forward, because there's a lot of things I like to do.
How do you get to that acceptance?
Well, it takes a while. Some people get to it sooner than others. But you have to come to the realization that there's other things you want to do in your life. I had 2 more daughters to take down the aisle, and I had a book to sell, which as well is something I wanted to do, and trips to take with a wife and so on. So you have to focus really on what you want to do in your life ahead, as opposed to dwelling on the negativity of cancer. Part
of the problem, though, with finding that right attitude, as you point out in the book, is that men have to be pillars of strength. You guys aren't so good with being touchy-feely and all the emotions that go with cancer.
It's much more difficult with men.
But keeping those emotions in can be so toxic.
Oh yes, you have to talk about it.
And how did you do that? How did you find that ability?
Well, I kind of learned it just by trial and error, basically. I decided I had to move ahead, and I found that humor played a great part of breaking the tension and developing the conversation. People had to know that your head was, you were cool with it, you had kind of resolved it in your own mind.
When I think of that image of you and your wife, and you had the drain tube, you talk about this in the book, and you had this draining tube in your chest.
The catheter,
and how all of a sudden you ended up with your hanging off the bed trying to drain some extra water out of the tube.
Oh my gosh, yeah, what an experience that was.
And how you guys found humor in a very difficult and trying situation.
Oh, there's so many other different situations. I mean, recently, I relapsed last January, went through treatment this last year, and in that whole process, you lose your hair again, and so I saved so much money in shampoo and haircuts for several months, and I didn't have to shave for 8 weeks. I had no facial hair. It's quite an experience.
Now, you tell people to find humor, do something for others, be nice for a change, make the world a better place, and don't give up, which is something you've never done. The book is called The Ride of Your Life. John Ricco, thank you so much for sharing it with us. And it's not just for people with cancer, anybody who wants to really feel good.
Yes, and dealing with any kind of adversity or challenge, really.
And it's available online. You can get it through Amazon.com. We'll put a link on our website, myfoxdetroit.com, and tell you how you can buy this book as well. We'll be back right after this.